Hi all. Today I'm going to talk about zero copy and how you can enable it between Confluent Kafka and Snowflake. So first we will see the agenda, then a quick demo. Probably I'll create another video which is detailed step walkthrough and a demo of how you can create the table flow in Snow in Kafka based on the storage that is provided in Azure Blob, and same storage you have to integrate it with Snowflake and also the catalog that Kafka created, right, as a REST iceberg catalog. So end of the day, your data in Kafka will end up in Azure storage first, and that is your master copy where your Snowflake will read it from. It will not. That means it will not create a local copy, and it will manage in the small partitions, right? So that may cause a little delay, but since it'll act as an external table that is living in a storage, it is quite faster as well. So these are the steps I have documented in a Word format. I will upload them in a GitHub, and so that you can verify, you can refer that in future. So let's go through what I have it in Confluent. This is my Confluent instance. I have a cluster, and that is. And first, let me go to the cluster itself. So here I have two clusters, but cluster zero is ours. So inside it, we have an option called table flow. For a cluster, you can enable it. Once you enable them, you can see this REST catalog endpoint created. Let me show you that. So this is your catalog that is provided by Kafka. And I have enabled the APIs that has to go to Snowflake to read this catalog, right? And also I have added the Azure Blob integration to here and attached into one topic. Let's see what is inside here. So we have two tenants here. If you see that Azure tenant is actually my personal tenant. So we also this Confluent also is in Azure. So that is the Contra app of Confluent. You can see this app. You can take this app, and there are a few steps. For example, if you add them at the first time, you can see that. So give, for example, give a name of it, new integration blob, and then create an enter ID that's going to give local enter ID, meaning Confluence local enter ID that you have to register in your IDP, that is Azure again, right? So once you select the options, it's going to say, hey, these are the permissions I would require on the app that you're going to create. So remember that this Entra ID app is going to be the application ID. It's not application name in your Entra. So you need to create the service principal. If you go to this page or the reference documentation, it's gonna route you uh, to the commands. For example, this one. So you need to mention AZ SP create service principal create ID is equal to application ID. If you do that, then it's going to create an application with some name, but your application ID would be the your given ID that in that command. So which is an important step. So what you have done, let's go. So this we have seen it, this integration that we have created. Uh, so we got some details from Confluent and created the integration between Azure AD storage, Azure storage and Confluent, and enable the table flow so that you will see the rest catalog. After that, you can actually go to each topic and enable this table flow for in topic wise. So here I have a topic called K employee, and whatever the message you drop in here, it will end up in Azure storage. That is the step number one, right? And once you do that, and your storage will look like this. Go to your Azure and find out the storage location, okay, iceberg in my case, and storage browser. Here is my container, iceberg. So this is how Kafka has come here and written this one. The table flow is actually written this folder structure, and this is my instance ID. Go in here and we can see the metadata and the data file inside. So now we're going to link the storage to Snowflake and see how it's going to read it, right? So there are a few steps here. One is you need to create a REST catalog integration between between Confluent Kafka from Snowflake. So here I'm gonna get the client. This client ID and secret. Don't worry about it. I'll delete it. So don't reuse the same. But this REST config, I'll go through you in detail. Like this catalog config is from here, from the table flow inside the cluster. If you go inside the table flow, you can see them. So this is the, you see this one, environment, this one. This catalog URI is coming from there. And in order to access that, you need a client ID and secret that you can download it actually from here. Create and view API keys. One of them is, so this new one, I think you are using N7, yeah, this one. And the password, don't worry about it, I'll revoke it right now. So now the REST catalog is created. So now Snowflake will be able to talk to this catalog and get the details of Azure storage. Now we need to create an external volume of Azure storage account from Snowflake, right? So you can simply create this one, then you can describe it. Let me go to Snowflake and show you. Once that is created, you can actually go and create the volume, right? Sorry, this volume is somewhere here. So this is my external volume I have created. No, sorry, not this one. Yeah, this is the one. Then external volume is created, Azure, and this is the tenant ID that is coming from my enter ID. Let me go to my local, sorry, not local, my personal Azure account and go to the Entra ID where you can pick up the tenant, right? The tenant is available there, and I created this external volume based on the storage account that I have. Now I'm going to describe it. So that is going to provide me this text which has a application, which has a link where I can create my application. So create my application by copying this one, by copying this link and give a consent about it. So first time when you do it, it's gonna ask you some consent whether it can create the application in the, now it's all created because I have already created now. So here I have already logged into my Azure local account, Azure personal account. When I paste this URL, it's going to try to access that tenant and going to create the app. Let's see what is the app inside my local. So here I will show you that two things. One is application registrations. Inside, you can see all my app created by Snowflake also. So what I'm going to do is create it on. Sorry. So this needs some. So the application is created here. So what are my application name is. So this is my application name. Only copy up to this one. Then the timestamp you leave as is. Then go to your application registration and try to find out that. Yeah, here it is in the enterprise applications. I have a application in the same name. So for this one, you need to add, go to the storage location. In this case, it's K iceberg. Now go to IAM roles. See whether this role assignment is available there. So here I have given the service principal a reader access. In fact, I think I have given all the access because previously this was used for other purpose, but I think you can give only the reader permission and check. For the other one, the application that is created using the application ID here, you remember this step, right? The Confluent actually created this app ID, right? This is also in Azure Entra ID enterprise applications, but the application name is different, but the application ID is this one. So you fetch based on this one, then you will be seeing that application ID. And you need to provide the relevant permission to that so that you will be able to see the iceberg table working. Now, the last step remaining is actually the snowflake table iceberg creation. So, this one. So, now you can, once after you create that catalog integration and the storage volume, now you can input the volume into here and say, hey, this is my catalog, is going to manage this table. I'll also see, I'll show you, give you catalog table name is K employee. Then here is where you can see the table. Can be right directly select query. You can run it. And if you want to update, basically, now I'll show you this. See this one, I'll just run this one. You would be seeing how many rows here? 4 rows here. Now go back to the Confluent Cloud and produce one more message and see how that is reacting in the iceberg environment. So clustering 0, I'm going to my K employee topic. So when you do that, you need to associate a schema with this one. If the messages are not aligned with the schema, then you would be seeing issues. So I'm going to produce a new message with the schema. Sorry. This is my schema, and generate a message will do create one more message. Now how many messages are there? 6. I got a message. Okay, this is all cool now. So even now if I go to snowflake and fetch this one, how many rows now? Previously 5, sorry, 4. Let's rerun it again. Still you don't see them updated, right? Let's go to the storage location and see if that is already there or not. Storage browser. I go all the way to see the metadata files are updated or not. It is local time is 29. It's not yet updated. Okay, it's updated already. So I should be seeing that, right? But I'm not seeing in Snowflake. So it is already reached the storage location. So how do I see them? Is running this command. Now I'm gonna say alter this table with a refresh. It took around some time. It's more than 30 seconds now. So probably in the next video, I'm gonna load more tables, more rows, and see this one now. Now it's all 6 rows is affected. So from now, it's not gonna take time. The select is not alone taking lots of time. It's gonna be very quick. It's seeing 1 second or 93 milliseconds, right? So let's run it again. Yeah, it's not showing any performance degradation to me, but what I'm going to do is like I'm planning to keep all around some GBs of data and see how that is affecting our performance. For this video, I think we can conclude it, but in the next video I'm going to create from the starting and make sure every step is covered. Thank you. You